Hi everyone, it's Dr. Margaret Gani on my YouTube channel, Dr. Maggie Prevents, and I am here to continue my sharing about my experience transitioning from a mainly clinical psychiatry career to one in preventative mental health. I live and work in the UK, and yeah, let's take it from there. So, in the last few videos, I've talked a bit about my reflections around integrating preventative mental health principles with cognitive analytic therapy principles. I've also talked about some of the work I've been able to do with the Royal College of Psychiatrists. And today I want to approach preventative mental health from a slightly different angle. Some of you might know that March is typically Endometriosis Awareness Month or World Endometriosis Month, or however you might phrase it. And it is important to me because unfortunately it is a condition that I have lived with for a number of years. It's one I continue to hope and pray stops being an issue for me. But I also realize that because I've lived with this condition for a number of years, I have learned quite a bit about it, beyond what I learned in medical school, because living with something is different from reading about it. And I have come to realize that there's actually a place, for an intersection between endometriosis and good mental health care, right? And so maybe I'll start by saying that in the month of March, I hope to be able to make a few videos related to endometriosis, um, speaking from the perspective of lived experience, but also somebody who happens to be a medic. If you have any questions, thoughts, or anything you would want me to share, you can put it in the comments and let me know. For me, recently I've been doing some work with the college through a role labeled Equity Champion. So the Royal College of Psychiatrists has a number of equity champions across all its faculties, or most of its faculties, devolved nations, and so on and so forth. And I am the equity champion for the liaison faculty. What that basically means is that we support the college to achieve its goal of fairness for all through a variety of approaches. And for me, I think equity intersects with my work in public mental health when you think about inequalities, right? Health inequalities are a very important topic in public health and by extension in public mental health. And as I've thought about my work in my equity role, and I have, and as I have, had some experiences related to being diagnosed with endometriosis. And when I think about what I've gone through in the past, and following discussions with other people who've lived with endometriosis, but also specialists who care for the condition, um, I have come to the conclusion that preventative mental health care and supportive mental health care should be part of a comprehensive package offered to women who struggle with or suffer from significant gynaecological conditions. Now, in all fairness, there is more knowledge and attention to conditions like endometriosis, adenomyosis, fibroids, etc. now than there was 10, 20, 30 years ago. But unfortunately, there's still a significant lack of awareness, and that is a problem. The endometriosis, one of the endometriosis charities in the UK, this Endometriosis Awareness Month, they are focusing on the lack of awareness that exists. emphasizing it, and encouraging, more education and, knowledge about this. I, of course, agree that more people should know about these conditions, particularly in healthcare, because the the lack of prioritization of women's health that sometimes happens inadvertently leads to worse outcomes. Through my time, right from medical school, I started to struggle with the condition, I guess before I even got into medical school. But I only got diagnosed after medical school. But through medical school, through residency training, and even more recently, again and again, I am convinced that supportive mental health care needs to be in place for women with these conditions on an ongoing basis. Because unfortunately, many women with these conditions are afflicted with the trauma related to this condition again and again. Now, obviously, there are mild versions of these conditions that women can live with, take a few painkillers a month, and just, basically live a more or less normal life. Or they might have one surgery and, it's sorted for life. But for some others who live with more severe versions of these conditions, it's almost like repeated cyclical trauma, right? You get better, and then out of nowhere, bang, you're struggling with your health again, which ends up having a knock-on effect on whatever you're doing. If you're in education, if you're working your career, if you run your own business, things can come to a halt while you just try and navigate your health. And that has an impact on well-being, it has an impact on earnings, it has an impact on plans, it has an impact on friends, family, loved ones. And I do strongly believe and would like to advocate that more supportive mental health care is put in place for women who live with these conditions. It could be some sort of psychological support. Obviously, it would depend on what the woman is dealing with. If a woman has developed or has a pre-existing significant mental health condition along with the gynecological condition, then of course we need a comprehensive, mental health support plan in place. Also, if a woman, while going through these issues, develops some stress-related struggles, I do believe putting in place preventative and supportive mental health support reduces the likelihood of these mental health struggles becoming something more severe and more serious. And it's something that I do want to consciously advocate for better mental health support for women who live with these conditions, which can be quite debilitating. I'll stop there. You can see it is a theme that is dear to my heart. I look forward to reading your comments. If you've got anything, or you can send me messages regarding your thoughts about this. I do realize it's something that not everybody will understand why I'm sharing or standing up for, but I have made peace with being open about this because it has had a significant impact on my life. And while through the mercies of God, I have been able to, keep on. Well, the mercies of God, the love of my family, the support of reasonable organizations when I found them. Through all these and more, I have been able to, keep going. Not everybody has access to, the kind of support I've had access to. And so I want to, advocate for better care. Please remember that if you're struggling with your mental health and well-being or physical health, these videos do not replace proper care access through your primary healthcare provider or some specialist. I hope I see you again on my next video, and thank you for listening to this, where I've shared about something that's dear to me. You take care. Bye.